Hey everybody, and welcome to the 50th and final episode of Season 1 of Bayt.com's Career Talk. As always, I'm Hatem. Now on this week's episode, I want to take you through some of the highlights of this past year that we've had together on Bayt.com's Career Talk to recap your entire career journey, starting from when you were a student in university all the way through to finding your first job and excelling at it. So let's get started. Let's start your journey at university when you're a student. Now naturally, as a student, your priorities are your studies, and then when the winter or summer break come about, is to spend time with friends and family and enjoying yourself and enjoying your time, maybe traveling and seeing the world. What I encourage you to do, and what I see a lot of students overlooking during their period in university, is not spending enough time pursuing internship opportunities. These opportunities will help open a lot more doors for you when you're coming to transition into that professional environment. A lot more employers will be looking at you just because you have some professional experience under your belt. Now, it's not only about this professional experience. Spend some time during your university years to pursue other activities that will help promote and develop your skills. Things as simple as sports. Playing sports as part of a sports team at university will help develop some of your communication skills, your teamwork ability, your leadership skills. Anything to develop your extracurricular skills, your soft skills, will be of great value to you when you come to apply to these jobs out of university. Right after graduation, you'll find yourself ahead of the game, and definitely ahead of those who haven't invested any time in themselves to develop their skills and their priorities during their university years. Now, while you're studying in university, something to not overlook and something you should be doing throughout your entire career is taking care of your personal brand. Now, this is becoming increasingly easy to do through the use of social media. Things that you post, the conversations you engage in, the type of people you follow, the companies that you follow. Taking advantage of social media will also help open doors and give off the right impression to employers. Now, we've discussed this in the previous episode dedicated to personal branding, and that any company you apply to will most likely look at your social media pages to get a better understanding of who you are as a person outside of the professional environment. Now, while you can take advantage of this and portray the image that you want to give off to the employers, at the same time you need to be careful that the personal stuff and the private information that you're posting on there is hidden away from the public sphere so that these employers can't find it. If there's something on there, try Googling yourself. If you're getting information that you aren't happy giving off to employers and to the general public, then put your privacy settings in place and hide that information. Keep that content private just between you, your friends, and your family. Now, this will give you a great advantage, will open a lot of doors, and is something that you can easily do. The power that you have just through your mobile phone can amplify your success and elevate you and push you forward in your career, but at the same time can hold you back. Think of yourself as a media company and always be aware of the image that you're giving off to the public space. Now, another thing that you need to take care of throughout your entire career progression, starting from your university days, is the very important document called your CV. Your CV is your first opportunity to communicate with an organization. We've done several videos about the CV, giving you the details of how you should go about every single section. But to wrap things up here in this episode, I'll give you a few tips to keep in mind, the overview of it. The career objective is very important piece of your CV. It needs to be very clear and lets the organization know what value you bring to the table. Your overall CV should be consistently formatted all the way through, no fancy colors or images on there, as well as having the CV be relevant and concise to the opportunity that you're applying for. And this means starting off with the job descriptions of the companies that you're looking to apply for, so you know what they're looking for, and then you can in turn put it in your CV. Don't make the mistake of putting everything you've ever done on your CV and wasting the recruiter's time. Keep the recruiter's time of utmost importance in your mind when giving them the information they're looking for, because the point of the CV isn't to convince the company to hire you, it's to convince the company to give you a call to learn more about you. Coupled with your CV is your cover letter. Now, we get a lot of questions, people asking us whether they even need to attach a cover letter or not to the opportunity that they're applying for. Now, the fact of the matter is a lot of companies won't even read the cover letter. But does that mean you shouldn't have one? It doesn't. Now, while companies might not even read your cover letter, they appreciate the fact that you've spent the time writing a cover letter dedicated to them. Now, this means that you can't just write one cover letter and send it out to everyone. If they get that cover letter that is clearly written and just sent out to everyone, it doesn't mean anything to the organization and it'll probably harm your chances. In turn, what I suggest doing, because a cover letter will take a bit of time in writing, is to look for these opportunities that you really want to pursue and writing a specific tailored cover letter to that organization, meaning that you've done your homework about the company that you're applying to, you understand their needs, you understand the gap that they're looking to fill by hiring someone in your position and addressing that specific gap and letting them know what value to bring. So what do you write in the cover letter if all the information is in the CV? Now, the career objective, think of the cover letter as an extended career objective. You're talking to the organization, letting them know that you know who they are, what they stand for, what their mission and values are, and what they're looking to achieve in the future, and how you play a role in that, and how you're keen to come on board, highlighting your values that you bring to the organization and how you can help them achieve their goals. Think of it as just sitting down with the recruiter and speaking giving an introduction about yourself. The recruiter sitting down with you and asking you to give them an idea as to why they should hire you. This is your opportunity to speak to them at length. Don't have your hopes up too high about them reading the cover letter, but the fact that they see they might skim through it, but the fact that they see a tailored cover letter written to them will only increase your chances. So you've written your CV, your cover letter, you've sent it, and then the company comes calling. What happens during the phone interview? What is the purpose of the phone interview? By the time a recruiter calls you, they've gone through your CV, your cover letter, if you submitted one as well, and then they're interested to know a bit more about you. And what are they looking for now during this phone interview? They're looking probably for some clarifications regarding some things that you put on your CV, some claims that you've made. They want to understand the backstory of them. But at the same time, and equally as important, they want to understand how you communicate over the phone, how confident you come across, how interested you are in the position, how quickly you are able to think on your feet to questions that they throw at you. Now this means that you need to be fully prepared at all times to every organization that you apply to. The last thing they want to hear is to call you up and then get the impression that you're not interested in the job, or that you haven't prepared for the job, or that you've just sent your CV to them just like you sent it to every other organization. You need to be fully prepared. Now some companies will send you an email beforehand asking to schedule a phone call with you. Now that works to your advantage because it gives you time to prepare for that phone call. But other times that phone call will just come as a surprise. And your objective here is to make sure to get them interested enough to call you in for that physical interview. So make sure you're prepared, make sure you speak loudly and confidently, and make sure you pursue that physical interview. Next is the physical interview. So you've succeeded in the phone interview stage and they've called you in for the physical interview. This is your opportunity to get them on the hook and get them to send you an offer. But you need to take care of some things. You need to be prepared not only for the questions that they throw at you during that physical interview, and during the physical interview you'll probably be sitting with the manager that you'll be working for. You'll need to be prepared with the answers to the questions that they could throw at you. So you need to do your research ahead of time. But just as important in the physical interview is everything else that comes with it that isn't involved in the dialogue. This means showing up on time. This means that you need to take care of giving a good firm handshake. The eye contact needs to be there. You need to take care of your body language, your tone, how you sit down. All these things come into play and will give off the right impression to the employer. So be prepared, do your homework beforehand. We've done an episode on this as well. So make sure you do your research beforehand and you walk into that interview prepared to ace it. So you've applied to many opportunities and you've been rejected from many opportunities. Some even as late as during the physical interview or maybe the phone interview, or even before that you just send a CV and you're faced with a rejection. Now what you need to understand is that a rejection is just part of the journey. Everyone gets rejected at some point or another. You can't possibly expect success with every single application that you send out. But what does this mean and how can you use this to your advantage? Every time you're rejected, it's very important, of course, to be mentally and emotionally aware of rejections and to be able to withstand that and not to get down on yourself and to let it demotivate you. Understand that rejection is the normal process during your journey. But as important is to understand why you were rejected. If you were rejected at the CV stage or the phone interview stage or the physical interview, why were you rejected? Understanding these reasons and incorporating them to enhance your application for next time is the only way you'll move forward. If you just get down on yourself without understanding why you were rejected, then you'll find yourself in an endless loop of rejection and failure. And that's not what we want. We want every failure to push us forward and to improve us for the next application. So you've landed that job and you're about to step into day one of your new profession. Now what does this mean? There's a lot of information that'll be thrown at you. First of all, you'll be dealing with orientation. You'll be dealing with HR coming at you with information, the names of those around you. There's a lot to process and it can be overwhelming. But if you want to position yourself for success in this new organization and ensure that your first few days go by smoothly, it's to do with the people around you. Get to know those around you, get to know their names, get to know what they do. These are the people that will help you understand how the organization works and where to look when you're faced with trouble or you're faced with questions that you need answers to or you need to understand the process of anything. Use lunchtime to your advantage. During lunch, spend every lunch with a different person or different groups of people around the organizations. Get to know those people around you and let them get to know you as well. Building these connections will only make your life a lot easier and will help position you better for success during your new profession as you help others and others help you. Now, something that you want to keep at the back of your mind as you progress through your career journey, whether you have 1, 2, 3 years of experience or even 10 years of experience, is your career plan. Make sure to have a career goal in mind. What do you aspire to achieve? Where do you aspire to work? By having a clear vision of what you want to achieve at the end of the day, you're able to see where you fit in that journey along the way. Even if you're working in a job that doesn't seem like it fits directly in line with what you want to achieve, but you're working in that job, how can you position yourself in your current organization to develop the skills that will make you valuable in the end goal? Now, this could be something as simple as soft skills. Now, you could just place a greater emphasis in soft skills and put yourself in a position to learn more. Surround yourself with the people that will help you develop the skills that will help you achieve that final goal that you have in mind. This might mean that you need to take extra courses online or outside of working hours to help develop these skills. But as long as you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve at the end of your career journey, you'll be able to see where you stand at all times and what the next steps are that are needed along the way, and to position yourself for success at every single stage. Along your career journey, you'll be faced with many ups and downs, some highlights and some lowlights. And it's those lowlights that can sometimes demotivate us. But it's important, if you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve at the end of the day and you have a clear career plan, to not get demotivated. Now, through working hours and through working continuously, you might find your energy low and as a result demotivated. These are signs that you should maybe take a break, step back for a bit, see where you are standing in your career journey and what you need to do to achieve that end goal. And if it all seems too overwhelming, split things up into smaller digestible tasks that you can achieve every single day so you feel some progress. It's that feeling of progress that you want to pursue when you're feeling demotivated. Split overwhelmingly big tasks into small to-do lists, if you will, that you can achieve on a day-to-day basis so you feel like you're moving forward. And if need be, take that break, sit back, spend some time for yourself, do an activity that you like, take up a new hobby, spend some time to just get those energy levels up and stay motivated along your career path. For some of us out there, employment might not be our ultimate career goal. We might have more of an entrepreneurial spirit and we want to pursue something of our own. Now, this could be for a variety of reasons. Maybe we want more flexible timings, in charge or in control of our own schedules. Maybe we want to create something that we don't see in the market. There are many reasons why you might want to be an entrepreneur and start your own business. But this doesn't mean to overlook the value that employment brings to the table. Whether it's an internship level or entry level or even working 10 years for an organization. All this experience will help you understand how organizations work from the inside, what works for them, what doesn't work for them. It will teach you about yourself, what kind of people you get along with and who you want to stay away from, how organizations manage their finances. Now, if you're one of those people who knows that their end goal is entrepreneurship and starting your own business, whenever you take up an employment opportunity, be very alert. Keep your eyes and ears open to everything happening in an organization and try to expose yourself to the different departments, whether it's the tech department or the finance department or the marketing or the sales. All these departments will give you a better idea of how to go about your entrepreneurial activities and avoid the pitfalls that many entrepreneurs fall as a result of inexperience. So by all means, if you're an entrepreneur, pursue that, but also see the value in employment. It's a learning lesson for you that you actually get paid for. And finally, the fuel to your fire behind your career goals and aspirations is your passion. Now, this is a topic I want to highlight and a topic that I've done a whole episode about because I feel like it's a topic that is continuously misunderstood because of the amount of people encouraging other people to pursue their passion. Now, while you might enjoy your passion and you wake up excited to pursue that activity and full of energy and full of life and it gives you great joy, you need to be very self-aware. You need to be very self-aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. Now, your passion is something that you might love doing, but you need to think about it rationally. Is your passion something that you can realistically build a career off of? Or is this something that you're just pursuing because you enjoy doing it? Now, you need to differentiate between your profession and your hobbies. Now, think of your passion. Is this something where your strengths are actually aligned with that passion? For example, I might love painting. Painting might be my passion, but can I make a realistic living being a painter? Most probably not. So I need to think of my strengths. Where do my strengths lie and what careers best suit my strengths that will put me in a position to succeed while pursuing painting as a great hobby that I do on the side. And if it develops into something bigger, great. But I'm not going to drop everything that my strengths are aligned with to pursue my passion. And that's what you need to be aware of. For some of us, we're lucky enough to have our passions aligned with our strengths, and that's great. But at the same time, don't just blindly chase your passion. Sit back, think of your strengths and your weaknesses and what your passion is and what career opportunities actually align with your strengths, and pursue those while chasing your passion on the side in your free time if it doesn't align with your strengths. So thank you all for watching this first season of Bayt.com's Career Talk. I had a blast making these videos, taking you through every single stage of the career journey, and I hope it did bring some value and some clarity to you regardless of where you are in your career progression. You can always look back at these videos and see your current step and how to approach it from a better angle, with better understanding, with better clarity, to always position yourself for success. Thank you all for watching. I wish you the best of luck, and until next time.